A wasp can turn a cockroach into a remote-controlled zombie. Not with venom that kills. With venom that steers. That's not the strangest thing a wasp does. It's not even close. There are over 100,000 known wasp species. Most of them don't sting people. Most of them don't live in paper nests. Most of them don't even look like wasps. Some are smaller than a period on this screen. Some hunt tarantulas for sport. And one turns fig trees into nurseries that trap the mothers who built them. This is every category of wasp you didn't know existed. Ranked from strange to stranger, the emerald cockroach wasp. Emerald jewel wasp doesn't kill its prey. It performs surgery on its brain. Ampulex compressa lives across the tropics, hunting one target, the American cockroach. A roach outweighs this wasp several times over. Strength doesn't matter. Precision does. The wasp stings once, into the roach's midsection, briefly paralyzing the front legs. Then comes sting 2. This one goes directly into the brain, into 2 specific ganglia that control the escape reflex and the will to walk. The venom doesn't paralyze the roach. It doesn't kill it. It edits its behavior. The roach can still walk. It just doesn't want to. The wasp bites off half of each antenna, drinks the hemolymph leaking out, then leads the roach by the stump like a leash. The roach follows. Docile. Compliant. Into the wasp's burrow. There, the wasp lays a single egg on the roach's leg and seals the entrance with pebbles. The roach sits and waits. It doesn't try to leave. Not because it can't. Because the drive to leave has been switched off. The larva hatches, burrows inside, and eats the roach alive from the inside out, organs last, to keep the host fresh as long as possible. 3 weeks later, an adult wasp climbs out of a hollowed-out corpse that spent its final days as a piece of furniture with legs. Most predators kill fast. This one keeps its prey alive, aware, and obedient. That's not efficient. That's engineered. The tarantula hawk. Tarantula hawk hunts spiders 8 times its size and wins every time. Genus Pepsis, found across the Americas, is one of the largest wasps on Earth, with a sting ranked near the top of every pain index ever built. Entomologist Justin Schmidt described it as instant, electric, blinding pain that shorts out coherent thought. It doesn't matter how tough the target is. Tarantula hawks don't negotiate. The wasp locates a tarantula by scent, provokes it into the open, and dodges the spider's fangs with speed the tarantula physically cannot match. One clean sting to the underside, between the legs, and the spider, a creature capable of killing the wasp in a single bite, goes fully paralyzed. Not dead. Paralyzed. It needs to stay alive as long as possible. The wasp drags the spider, sometimes many times its own body weight, into a burrow. One egg gets glued to the spider's abdomen. Then the entrance is sealed shut. The larva hatches and starts eating. It avoids vital organs first, keeping the tarantula alive and fresh for weeks, saving the heart for last. The spider cannot move. It cannot fight back. It can only wait to stop being alive. Most wasps sting to defend. Tarantula hawks sting to author an entire death, on a delay, in the exact order that benefits them. The fig wasp. Every fig you've ever eaten was built around a mother wasp's corpse. Figs aren't fruit in the way an apple is fruit. A fig is an inverted flower, sealed shut, with the blossoms facing inward instead of out. That means normal pollinators can't get in. So the fig tree evolved a partner built specifically for the job, a wasp small enough to fit through a single, tiny, preformed opening called the ostiole. The female fig wasp squeezes through that opening, and the fit is so tight it tears her wings and antennae off in the process. She was never leaving anyway. Inside, she pollinates the internal flowers and lays her eggs, then dies right there, sealed inside the fruit that will eventually be eaten. Her offspring hatch, mate with each other inside the fig, brothers with sisters, in total darkness, and then the males, wingless and eyeless, chew an exit tunnel through the fig wall before dying without ever leaving. The newly mated females fly out through that tunnel to find the next fig, carrying pollen with them, restarting the cycle. Every edible fig species depends on this exact relationship. No wasp, no figure. The tree that produces one of the oldest cultivated fruits on the planet only exists because a wasp is willing to die inside it, every single generation. If you're finding these creatures half as unsettling as I am, drop your favorite one in the comments. We're only getting started. The ichneumon wasp. Charles Darwin said its existence nearly broke his faith in a benevolent design. There are over 60,000 known ichneumon species, and most share the same basic strategy: inject an egg directly into a living host, usually a caterpillar, using an ovipositor that can be several times longer than the wasp's own body. Some species, like those in genus Rissa, can detect larvae buried deep inside solid wood. They don't dig. They drill. The ovipositor bores straight through bark using a mechanism scientists still don't fully understand, since the organ has no muscles at its tip to push it forward. It's driven by pressure, buckling, and a valve system built like a hydraulic tool. Once inside the host, the egg hatches into a larva that feeds with brutal precision, eating fat body and non-essential tissue first, keeping the vital organs intact. The host caterpillar keeps eating, keeps growing, keeps moving, all while being consumed alive from within, on a schedule the larva controls. Some ichneumon species take it further. They inject a virus alongside the egg, one that disables the caterpillar's immune system just long enough to stop it from walling off and killing the intruder. The virus isn't incidental. It's a tool, carried and deployed on command. Most predators take a life quickly. The ichneumon wasp rents one, keeps it running, and only lets it stop when there's nothing left to use. The cuckoo wasp doesn't build a home. It breaks into one. Family Chrysididae is covered in iridescent blue and green armor, which looks decorative but isn't. It's structural. Cuckoo wasps are kleptoparasites. They sneak into the nests of other solitary wasps and bees, lay their own egg next to, or on top of, the host's egg, and leave. The host returns, seals the nest, and unknowingly raises a killer inside it. The cuckoo wasp larva hatches first in many species, and its first act is to kill the host's own egg or larva with oversized mandibles built for exactly that purpose. Then it eats the food the host provisioned, meant for its own offspring. The armor matters because getting caught is a real risk. If the host wasp returns mid-break-in, the cuckoo wasp curls into a tight defensive ball, tucking legs and antennae into grooves on its own exoskeleton built specifically to lock into that shape. The armor plating takes the sting. The wasp survives an attack built to kill it. Most parasitic species avoid confrontation entirely. This one is built to survive it, armored like a tank for a war it starts on purpose. The warrior wasp. Colonies of this species conduct something close to organized raids on rival nests. Seneca septentrionalis, found in Central and South America, builds nests along tree trunks that look armored from the outside, dark, ridged, fortress-like. That design isn't cosmetic either. Warrior wasps are among the most aggressive social wasps documented, capable of coordinated group attacks that can send dozens of stinging wasps at a single threat within seconds. The sting itself is ranked at the top of the pain index, a rolling, electric wave described as feeling like a current running directly through bone. But the real weapon is coordination. Before an attack, the colony performs a drumming ritual. Wasps beat their wings and bodies against the nest wall in unison, a synchronized signal that recruits the entire colony to mobilize at once. Unlike a solitary hunter working alone, this is a colony acting as a single, coordinated organism, capable of switching from calm to full mobilized defense in seconds, with every member responding to the same signal simultaneously. Most stinging insects escalate gradually, a warning, then a response. Warrior wasps skip the warning. The drumbeat is the warning, and by the time you hear it, the response has already been decided. The gall wasp. It doesn't build a nest. It hijacks a tree's DNA and makes the tree build one for it. Family Cynipidae lays eggs directly into plant tissue, usually oak leaves or stems. The larva then releases a cocktail of chemicals, auxins, cytokinins, and compounds still being studied, that hijacks the plant's own growth machinery. The tree responds by building a gall, a hard, structured growth, unique in shape to each wasp species, that didn't exist a day before and now exists purely to feed and shelter something that isn't the tree's own tissue. Some galls are smooth spheres. Some look like sea urchins. Some look like alien fruit. The shape isn't random, it's dictated by the specific chemical signal each wasp species injects, meaning you can identify the exact species of wasp just by looking at the architecture of the growth it forced the tree to build. Inside, the larva feeds on nutrient-rich tissue the tree is, in effect, forced to manufacture and deliver, like a host unknowingly running room service for a parasite it never invited in. Most parasites take resources that already exist. The gall wasp rewrites its host's code and orders new resources built from scratch. The honeypot ant situation, the wasp relatives that take this further. One more, because it reframes everything you just heard. Most animals store surplus food in nests, burrows, or dens. Certain wasp relatives in the ant lineage, colonies of honeypot ants, close evolutionary cousins of wasps within the same broader insect order, store their surplus a different way entirely. Inside each other. Specific workers, called repletes, are fed liquid food by their nestmates until their abdomens swell into translucent, grape-sized storage tanks. They stop moving. They hang from the ceiling of the nest, alive, immobile, functioning as living pantries for the entire colony. During drought or famine, other workers stroke the replete's antennae, triggering it to regurgitate stored food on demand. They are not dead. They are not dying. They are furniture with a heartbeat, kept alive for years, purely so the colony has something to eat when the ground outside has nothing left to offer. Every creature on this list solved the same basic problem, survival, using a method that sounds invented. None of it is invented. It's just what happens when 100 million years of evolution runs the same experiment on 100,000 different bodies, and never once has to be merciful to get the job done.